Hello, everyone, and welcome to our special Guardians of Haven Talkback. Our post-season finale discussion of all the things that happened during this game when you and the players get to ask me, why? Why is Alex? I am Alex, and I have been your game master for this amazing romp with the lighter tone through space. It was great. Nothing bad happened to anybody. I checked. We played Mutants and Masterminds, as you all know, and I want to give everybody a chance to say hello, and then we'll just get started with this. I think this is the first one I've introduced. Usually Andy's the MC for these. And I will pass it over to Kevin to say hi and tell us who he played, and no question of the day, because all of today is questions.
That's true. Those questions. I am Kevin. Not was. I am playing Chimera, or at least I was.
Oh my god.
And so yeah, I'm really losing it here. So I'm falling apart. It's over. Yeah. So So I was the gray monstrosity who was supposed to be, kind of like the background scenery thing. And that's what I did, sort of, except there's all kind of stuff going on as trauma was injected into my character, despite my best attempts to remain machine-like. Which brings us to where we are right now. Over to the dashing Captain Flynn. Go ahead, Jonesy.
Hey everybody, I am Jonesy, and tonight I will be Jonesy, but I was playing the fabulous and flamboyant captain of the space pirate crew. And with that, and the answer to the question of the day is 42, and I will kick it over to Kat.
Hey guys, I'm Kat, and I was playing the telekinetic Moon twin Ursa, one of the many people on the trauma train. Very excited for tonight. Don't have anything else to say, so I will pass it to Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy. During Guardians of Haven, I played Aelin, our Arcanthian femme fatale, and tonight I will just be myself, so I get to answer all your wonderful questions that you're going to throw at us, or things that we just randomly come up with on our own, because it's that kind of night.
Yeah.
I will pass it on over to Calvin.
Hey, I'm Calvin, and I was playing Alara, the telepathic Moon twin, and I guess I am also myself tonight, like everyone else.
Did you say the telepathic problematic Moon twin?
Nope.
Telepathic
you just heard problematic.
You thought it loudly.
Yes.
She put it in my brain.
Automatic. Funky fresh. And I guess I'll pass it back to Alex because I don't have an answer for the question of the day.
I played everybody else. Except for last week when I made them play multiple versions of themselves talking to each other, which was one of my favorite moments of the whole season. Fun fact, as a GM, the less work you have to do, the happier you'll be. There was not a question of the day, Wiki, because all of tonight is questions. Andy, where should we start?
The beginning is usually a good place to start.
Harry Mary Poppins of you.
Roast him, Andy. Roast him.
I try. It's maybe one of the only times I get to do it on stream.
Well, that's fair. So, once upon a time, we had a band of space outlaws out and about in the galaxy doing space things. Deuce would like to know, what is the inspiration for everyone's character concept? Starting with Kevin.
Since we're doing like an outer space thing and not superheroes, I was kind of just pondering, where to go with that. So I wanted to play something. We tend to, in our popular fiction, we tend to anthropomorphize. I can't say that word. Even alien characters and give them sort of human characteristics. So I was kind of trying to go for something that was intentionally inhuman, I don't really always pull that off because I, of course, am a very emotional being. So that's, being coldly efficient is not something I'm good at. Uh, so there's a little bit of Mr. Data and a little bit of HAL 9000. I think in Chimera's mental wheelhouse, at least at the beginning. I was kind of thrown for a loop uh, when Alex introduced a sort of human building block as part of the character. Also thrown for a loop when I was asked to play the dark presence that's in my head. But yeah, so that's sort of where Chimera came from. So I'm not sure where we're going from here. I mean, there are so many possibilities from where we wrapped up. So I'm not sure. Over to you, Josie.
So, Flint came from wanting to play something different than Mortis to begin with. So I love Mortis. Mortis is my little heavy metal goth necromancer from and a little ball of anger from Netherward. And so I'm like, what's the exact opposite of that? And so something shiny and happy and outgoing and very boisterous. So, and then we're doing space stuff. So space pirates came to mind with Corsair and very Nightcrawler in his pirate mode and all that stuff. So, and then the Earl Flynn part came from, actually, surprisingly, not Earl Flynn, but came from Mutants and Masterminds. There's a character similar to that kind of concept in Mutants and Masterminds, old school Mutants and Masterminds, that also is inspired by Earl Flynn. And so I just kind of said, well, I want to play this type of character, and then made my version of it. So, with that, I'll kick it down to Kat.
So Ursa, I just remember going through the list that Alex sent me or sent us, looking at all the different types of aliens that you could be. And there were two that popped out at me. One was the Farsiders on the moon, and then I can't remember what the other one was. But I came up with this idea that I wanted to be part of the royal family, and I wanted, for some reason, I decided that I wanted to have like a twin. And I remember asking Alex, like, do you think I should have my twin be like dead, or do you think that I should ask one of the other players if they want to be my twin? Like, what do you think? And Alex was like, yeah, you could probably ask them. I'm sure Kevin, Jonesy, or Andy would want to be your twin. Like, he specifically said Kevin, Jonesy, or Andy. And I was like, okay, I'll mention it. And then it was just really funny that the first person to respond was Calvin, because he was the only one that Alex didn't name. And then Ursa's personality sort of came, honestly, just by playing her. She was supposed to start off a lot more like aloof and innocent, and she sort of kept that throughout the whole thing, but also she had a bit of snark to her, and that just comes because she's being played by me. So, yeah. So I'll pass it to Andy.
So for me, Aelin came about because I was trying to do something a little bit different than I'd done in the past. I was trying to take a back seat from a leadership role, and I wanted something that was actually going to be a little bit of a challenge, both from a building perspective and also from a playing perspective. And the thing that stuck out to me was Triplicate Girl from the Legion of Superheroes. And when that idea got in my head, I was like, okay, I can do something with that. That's really an interesting kind of way of taking this. And so from there, it developed into, making the Arcanthian race, which didn't exist. It was completely made up by me, and trying to figure out, like, the number of tails on the Arcanthians meant the number of personalities in their head, and how did they get to adulthood with that, and what did that mean, and what does it mean if they're all gone with everything from her backstory. So it was really a chance for me to try to stretch from a build perspective, from a role play perspective, and just from I'm not even sure the best way to put it, just from a challenge perspective, to try to put something out there that could interact differently with all of the players at the table, but still be me. And so I kind of took that and I ran with it. So I think that passes it over to Calvin.
Yeah, I was I was actually trying to find where we first had that conversation about the twins at the time, because I did have some ideas in mind. That who knows, maybe I'll fall back on for something else if Alara blows herself up, as is possible. But yeah, Kat just made that suggestion and I kind of hopped on that, and then I read the moon lore and I thought it was really interesting. So I guess I just kind of followed that thread, and then I kind of needed a character that was sort of different than, I don't know if I knew about Ursa's personality at the time, but I kind of wanted something a bit maybe I fell into some certain tropes after playing a very dark bowman. I guess I wanted to do another sort of dark character. Although she kind of went in certain directions after the game started. And I don't really know what else to add from that. I read the lore and stuff. I thought it was really interesting. I thought we could have like a really interesting position as characters that were part of the royal family. So I just kind of leaned into that, and then just the idea of having one of them having a certain kind of brain powers, the other having the other kind, I thought was really fun. And then I just kind of tried to figure out like what would be a kind of person who would have those powers and then come from that position, and then would also be a total space hottie. Because that was critically important to the character.
As for the campaign itself, I guess I'll talk about that for inspiration. I wanted to run a fun, lighthearted space romp. And
we didn't get there.
No notes. Perfect.
Sorry. Got it.
Are you sure you're not getting an orange spray tan there, Alex?
Maybe.
The space lanes are paved with good intentions.
Lies and deception.
Yes. But I look, here's the thing. I really did want to do a lighthearted space romp, but then I didn't prepare enough, and my natural instinct when improvising is to make it as bad as possible.
There you have it, everyone.
Which leads to Wiki's question, why is Alex? And I will answer this first, but then everybody else can answer it if you want to take a crack at why I am the way I am. I really enjoy the guts of characters when they are going through something horrible. I think it leads to great storytelling, to investment on the player's part, to fun consequences for my very talented players to chew on, and to make each other cry, and to make me cry. And I don't know what it is about me that just defaults to something bad happening when I'm not ready or I'm not prepared to think of something to happen. But that is why Alex. And daddy issues, probably. There's a reason the dedication in my first book is, to you, my dad. You're the reason I'm like this. So, Kat, you could take a crack at it. You know what's up.
I just know a lot about Alex's past trauma. And it explains a lot of why is Alex. I'm not going to dive into it.
That's fair.
But we know. Shoot, I don't know. Jonesy, go for it.
Too many Garbage Pail Kids cards as a kid. And that bad stick gum that would come with it. That's why
Alex was around for that. I don't know if he was around for that.
I feel like that was far too early for Alex.
I had an unruly Tamagotchi as a kid. Not enough pogs.
Ooh,
Too many
pogs.
pogs. Who knows?
See, it's
Pogs
both
on both their houses.
as both the gaming geek and the history teacher, I can tell you that the Greeks, of course, are the inventors of tragedy. And so the truth of it is, Alex isn't really Alex. Alex is Daedalus.
Mm.
And as someone who was there for the birth of tragedy, he needs to inflict it on others to have catharsis. And so that's.
But wait, then why is Daedalus always getting kidnapped?
Because he can't be in the same place at the same time.
Because he can't be in the same place at the same time.
You know, since we're going with classic stuff, there's the quote from that old hair metal band Poison. If all the truths are lies and stories are writers in disguise. I think Alex is, you know, his stories amuse us, but also help him. You know, so it's a way to explore that and sort of, you know, give everybody a moment of catharsis if they can have it. And then you have those players who just refuse to have any emotions and they just ruin everything.
Never answering the question of the day because it doesn't make sense for the character.
That's right. Calvin, what's
Me?
your insight into why is Alex?
Oh gosh. Shoot, I don't know. Probably should have boned up on my psychology. I mean, I feel like that's just where some of the interesting stuff lies. The drama in the drama. And like I say, like all the time, like I really like playing with this group and, you know, tossing this group certain tropes and ideas and concepts and stuff. It always turns out really interesting. It's really fun to play and apparently really fun for other people to see. So yeah, I think it's just that's where the spice is. That's the best I can answer. I don't know if Andy, if you have a better answer.
Alex is because we keep letting Alex be. Honestly.
Alex is enabled.
And I mean this in the best way for us as players, because instead of yes, we have those moments where we jeer and jab at him for putting us through more and more trauma, but we roll with it so well and we take it in stride, and we don't take it as like an attack on our characters. We take it as a challenge to be a better role player, to be a better cast member, and play that forward. And so I feel like if we didn't do that, and if he hadn't had players do that time and time and time again, he wouldn't be the way he is, because he wouldn't have had that re-enabled, you know, process. Like, oh, hey, they actually like this. I'll just keep giving them more. I think we kind of Pavlov dogged him.
Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
And no, I think Wiki says it best. We wouldn't want Alex any other way.
And to be fair, I'm the last person to throw stones. I mean, I'm the guy who runs World of Darkness games, so that's trauma in a bag.
Oh, it comes in bags? I'm getting one.
I thought it came in cartons down there.
Calvin gets a hero point.
Well played, good sir.
It's a hero point for the
unless you're in high school unless you're in middle school in the 90s, then it does come in a bag and you go, what the heck? And then you try to stick as many straws in it before it pops, just to play a game.
Calvin, were you there when we were talking about the juice fight in Canada? Like, if you took your bagged juice and bagged milk and just hit each other pillow fight style?
That's
You might not have been here for that.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I remember that conversation.
I don't know if I was there, if it appeared to me in a dream.
But yeah, what happened in Guardians of Haven? As I'm gonna go through the events of the story. Looking at Roll20 right now, because our heroes went through a lot in the span of 24 episodes. I feel like a lot of ground got covered, and I somebody come up with a question while I look up what all happened in my outline.
So, Calvin, how did you feel about being swallowed in the first couple of episodes?
Certainly
it.
set a tone.
Certainly set a tone.
Didn't
Ooh,
love
Wiki
it.
has 10 questions. Outside of the why is Alex? Was that one of the 10, or is
It's
that
who,
in
what,
addition?
where, why, and when is Alex.
When is Alex's right now?
Yes.
Man, I need to make the playlist of our song titles because I've got 24 songs in here that are pretty good.
There you go, Alex. How worried were you that session 1 was almost a wipe?
I wasn't that worried about it.
The art budget says otherwise.
Well, I am a firm believer in the capability of my players and of my ability to bring them back to life if they die.
Wow.
There's a perfectly good mortis around our setting just for that reason.
It's just
Mortis.
Yes,
a couple planets over.
It was a little hard. Deuce coming down from PL 12 or 13 or whatever we were at the end of Nether War and going back to PL 10 because I forgot how numbers worked.
Also, we weren't really built as superheroes either. Like the point total sometimes is a little deceptive, and
Yeah, I was offensively on a deficit.
Yeah, and some of those
initially.
Some of those early encounters, I had a lot of environmental factors being played, like the acid borers being able to go underground with victims in their mouths. That was rough.
Was it?
I mean, it wasn't rough for me, but I'm sure you guys had a hard time.
I didn't have a good time.
The mirror droids and Hansha and all that time in the darkness in episode 4 when we realized that the lighter tone was a lie.
Yep.
That was 20 episodes ago, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I lasted 4 whole episodes before we realized that I was full of shit.
Well, I think we noticed 4 episodes in.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
We called you on it 4 episodes in.
Mm-hmm. But no, I think everybody was okay. We did okay. Wiki says, what is your character's theme song now? What was it when you started? And I'll throw that one to Jonesy, because Jonesy's full of music.
I would have to say, I don't know. The problem is all my music references are from Mortis and not Flynn appropriate. So,
I feel like Flynn would have classical movie soundtrack music, instrumental for his stuff.
I know what it wouldn't be. And that it would not be that god awful Brian Adams song from Prince of Thieves.
Wow. Sorry.
Probably something from any Kevin Bacon movie.
Footloose.
Yeah, it's obvious. I have to double check, but it's got to be something from Kenny Loggins. It's hands down. It's a Kenny Loggins song from the 80s.
Wiki says, then I need a hero. Now it's Raining Men.
Wow.
That is a little, I don't know.
Neither Richard
Mortis is not that. Flynn is not that picky if it's pretty. And I say if it's pretty because he is male, female, other. Like he is all the human blob, whatever. If it's pretty, yeah, he will probably flirt with it.
Good move.
Who's next, Jonesy?
You spoke, so I'm going it to you.
Of course you are. So honestly, I didn't really think of what it would have been until Wiki asked the question. So I didn't have one for the beginning. don't really have one for the end, but if I had to choose something for her, Trinity by Amaranth would actually probably fit pretty well. Just because there are 3 vocalists for that group, and I feel like that's a good way to represent Aelin. And Calvin, I'm going to put you on the hot seat.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
And just tell he's like, not me, not me, not me.
Yeah. So I guess music wise, a lot of what I would think of with Alar was usually like more instrumental stuff, OST stuff. For some reason I really liked the song Under Cover of Night from the Halo OST, which is a random selection, I know, but it has this sort of calm, cool feeling, but with an undercurrent of tension and danger. Although that does largely come from the actual Halo mission that it's in. But there's just this sense of something different and unnatural to it, especially when you get to like the vocal sections, which were just like the composer just really messing with the pitch of his voice and stuff, that I thought was really I don't know, it just tickled certain things when I was coming up with character ideas. Although I guess more now, I forget who posted about the song King Nothing in the comments last week.
That was me.
That was you. Okay. And I was just thinking about it again, and I was just like, the castle crumbling, and she's left with just a name. As Farsighter completely disappears out of reality, like, yeah, that's probably it. That's what it is now.
It'll probably be back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see. It's not up to me.
What? I guess. I mean, technically, it is at least somewhat.
You guys gotta go find it.
We're busy.
Have you seen the city? Have you put flyers up?
We should try that.
Oh, I gotta make a note. I just thought of where it is. I know where it
There's
is.
there's no telephone poles in space.
I'm just gonna stick it on Saturn or something.
Don't stick it on Uranus.
Oh.
No.
Boo.
Boo.
I waited 27 minutes for a dad joke.
On the side of this International Space Station. Have you seen this? Have you seen the city? If so, call.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of tier things for the number. I don't know. I guess I'll pass it to my twin.
Okay. So for the beginning, I was sort of thinking "What's Up" by Four Non-Blondes, because the lyric "What's going on" really resonates with early Ursa. She had no fucking clue what the fuck was going on. And then now, "It's Not Right, But It's Okay" by Whitney Houston, because she was hella betrayed by her sister. But it's gonna have to end up being fine. She's gonna do her own thing. Yeah. So then, Kevin.
I don't know. I mean,
Modem sound.
yeah, white noise, I guess. No, I imagine. I
Dial-up.
guess. Yeah. Bing, bing, bing. You've got mail. I don't know. Probably some. Definitely nothing like a song with like lyrics or anything. It'd be like montage music, depending on what's going on. Whether it's sort of the monotonous when he's working, or that sort of ominous when who's driving the Chimera unit at the moment, kind of thing. So yeah, it's montage with Mr. Roboto. Wow. Yeah. Did we hit everybody for the theme song?
I think so.
I think we did.
I'll be cheeky and I'll say that my song at the beginning was Silent Lucidity, and my last song was The End of World as We Know It, because those are the titles of the first and last episodes. But yeah, we got up to a lot. We met Mama Kiger, who was a wonderful black markets criminal kind of person who was great to be working alongside the heroes instead of against, as would be usual in an M&M game. It was really fun getting to flesh out her personality. And then we almost jumped immediately into the Farsighter shenanigans. With the Farside delegate showing up at the end of episode 2 and really getting into what they were doing on Starhaven almost immediately, because that was what attracted everyone's attention. I think Zoth was a really cool enemy until he got punked.
Which punking?
I mean, he got punked a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I was trying to clarify.
I really liked introducing Eric and Astaria in those first couple of episodes up until our team left the dome to go look for Daedalus for the first time. And I liked the Farsiders felt like an ever-present issue that the heroes had to deal with throughout their time in this first season. Did I have a favorite song title or episode title for the series? The one I was most excited about was Man on the Silver Mountain for Daedalus being arrested. Or this time he was abducted, not arrested. Enthralled? He was enthralled this time because he was captured by the big scary preserver mummy. Or mind controlled by the big scary preserver mummy. But I had that title for the Daedalus episode when I first sat down to do these song titles for the episodes. I also like Bad Medicine for the episode about Sister Angelica and the Children of Chrysalis with their fake cure for the diseases that they were causing. And Operation Mindcrime for the Psychoscape episode. I liked all of those. When I initially sat down, I wanted to do this first season as I wanted to map it to the Queensryche album, Operation Mindcrime, because that's a great concept album, and I liked some of the stuff that was going on about somebody who's mind controlled and conditioned to do something that they don't want to do, and just there's a lot of cool opportunities there.
You thought about that, and you thought Operation Mindcrime, it's about a dystopian future and mind control and being betrayed and backstabbing and murder. That screams to you lighter tone?
Yeah, really.
Well,
That is more of a Spielberg soundtrack.
yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
There's a disconnect.
Yeah, the Starhaven idea came before the plot idea.
So.
Yeah. It was fun though. Everybody had a good time.
I'm just saying, like, you know.
Oh, Alex, you've got a bad sense of what's light or what's a light tone.
Maybe a little, Kelly Clarkson, and maybe a little, and that'll lighten up your tone a little bit.
We're doing Pat Benatar next season. Oh, Wiki's got individual questions for each of us.
Ooh.
Nope.
Denied.
Andy, can a sister other than Aelin be the primary, and what happens if one of the sisters dies? Please let me know for no reason in particular.
For no reason in particular. Thanks, Wiki. So the idea with the idea behind Aelin and the sisters, and there was a vying for dominance type of thing at the point in time in which we had gotten to Aelin. And the way the campaign went, I really didn't get to play out a whole lot of them trying to always drive, as it were, but I did try to throw in pieces and parts where the other ones would take over. At the point, so going back at the point in time where we were in the campaign, Aelin was certainly the primary, but yes, her sisters could have vied and taken control had they been strong enough, or had they not been basically entered like a pact to work together to get through all of this. Something that they did when they were kids after they were sent into space, kind of all alone. If one of them dies, it's a horrible experience for the other two that are left, because now there's a void, and they will always feel that void. I don't think there would be any physical change to an Arcanthian that lost one of its personalities, but I don't think they would all be quite the same mentally after that point in time.
You don't think it'd be like a two-tail situation instead of a three?
No, no, because I honestly I don't think physically that the manifestation of the tails comes with the manifestation of the personalities, and it's a physical change to the body, not a and it's physical because it's based off the mental. Just because the mental goes away, I don't think the physical would shift. So hope that answers the question. That could happen. The color in the tail could fade.
Is Aelin the Shannon Doherty of the group?
Deuce. Ah.
Oh, where did Deuce put a question in?
No, he just asked if Aelin was the Shannon Doherty.
No,
that was me.
No, that was
Jonesy.
That was Jonesy.
All right.
Jonesy,
has plot immunity.
What does Flynn really think of all the members of his crew?
We should all leave the chat.
Well, he totally respects Aelin. He's, as far as he's concerned, she's first officer. Yeah.
There's Deuce.
There's Deuce.
As far as Chimera, he's not sure what to make of Chimera, but Chimera comes as a package deal with Aelin, and so the Roomba can stay, I guess. He actually likes the twins and cares about the twins, but he's a little unsure about someone's obsessive compulsive nature to own the Moonstone, and that has a little does have him a little on edge. But he is not romantically drawn to any of the crew.
Too much trauma related to that.
Well, he views them more of a circle of family. Now, possibly it's one of the reasons he was okay with asking the twins to join the crew, because it wasn't going to be hopping in the sack and then breaking up and then dealing with fallout. Yeah. And beside the point, he's got hat rack. So,
Calvin, how was it being all of your characters at once?
Ogres isn't even my character. I don't know. I felt really
Ogres wasn't your character.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I was a little out of practice with the bowman, so it was kind of hard to like flip that light switch between the two of them, because bowman is like different throat positions and all that stuff. I don't know. It's like a physical difference trying to do that voice without like shredding my entire body. And then Alara is like, I gotta remember all the accent rules and how O's are pronounced. And so I'm like, it's like trying to read two books at the same time, basically. Because like I can't just like, usually before we stream, I'm like, okay, how do I do this voice I chose to do because I wanted to rip off Percy from Critical Role for my character, and then how do I do this other voice because I felt a need to do a Batman voice for an Arrow guy. And then I was like, I had to jump between the two of them, and then like, oh yeah, I did some other thing for Ocarus, so let me start flipping pages over there. But it was fun.
I was very impressed with how everyone handled being thrown into playing all your characters without heads up from me, because why change now?
Right. Yeah, it was a surprise that probably should have seen coming, but it was fun. It was very stressful, but it was fun.
And you all are so awesome that you can handle it. Yeah. Because I'm in here throwing grenades in your lives all the time. Excited for Wiki's next question.
Yeah.
I do have a question for everybody. My question was, who was your favorite NPC of the season? Because there were a lot of colorful characters in this season.
Mama Kiger.
Mama Kiger.
Flynn enjoyed Hat Rack, but Jonesy enjoyed Mama Kiger.
Both of them enjoyed you.
Probably August.
Oh, Kat, you're on mute.
Hear me?
There we go.
Yep.
There.
Gruck.
Yeah.
I hated him so much, but he was done so well.
That's Goblin.
I was like, God damn, I hate this man.
That's why he gave you "She fucking hates me" on your on your
Yeah,
rectangle.
that was a good rectangle. I'm not gonna lie.
The shapes. All the shapes.
Grug is the best Wiki.
Solo's pretty good too.
Kevin, what's your answer?
Dark being.
Oh, wow. Oh, Gruck, I would say.
Gruck is cool.
Gruck's great. Gruck is a pre-gen at my Starhaven game at conventions. If you come to play, you can be Gruck if you want.
See the Gruck, be the Gruck.
Gruck you.
Actually, at Gen Con when I ran it, Gruck was the former lover of Mama Kiger's. He had the contact advantage, and I was like, "How do you know Mama Kiger?" And he said, "We used to be lovers, and now we're just friends." But both of us are upset about it.
Nice. Kat, next question's for you.
What do you want to yell at Calvin for the most right now?
Wow. Wow.
Not enough time to
At
stream for
Calvin
that.
or one of Calvin's characters? Because I know
What a
the
really
answer to
question.
at Calvin.
You do?
That's true.
Calvin's like, wait, what?
Uh-oh.
Calvin knows.
He knows what he did.
Does he? He doesn't sound like it.
That's actually hard. I don't really have anything that I want to yell at his characters for. Besides, Alara being a dumb bitch there at the end, but like
Yep.
there's not he made like a really good plot choice there. So I couldn't even be mad about it. But Alara choosing herself in the Moonstone over her sister and their team did not make Ursa very happy.
Yeah.
So probably that.
Something I really wanted you to yell at Alara about was her taking off her coat and putting on Zot's uniform.
Honestly, I forgot.
I was wondering about that.
I definitely forgot because Ursa for sure would have yelled about that.
Freedom League was
Hey,
like,
there's always next season.
this woman with a British accent and a Nazi uniform is rolling up to be a good guy on our planet? Nah, I've seen Star Wars. Get out.
Did you want Centuria to yell at her?
Maybe both.
Wow.
Follow up for Calvin. What the hell is up with that Moonstone shit anyway?
Infinite cosmic power, itty bitty jewel accessory.
So with Alara, I mean, there were moments when she could have had that character development where she would have made that choice that she made at the end, but I don't know, every time she got close to like settling down with something that made her sort of happy, whether it was like, I don't know, when Auguras was around and then suddenly he's out of the picture and then they had the Moonstone for a bit. Oh, but it's stuck on Ursa's hand. But it's okay, it's on Ursa's hand because, of course Ursa's gonna want to go take back Farsight. Oh no, it's gone again. I don't know, there's a lot of back and forth with that. there was a lot of starts and stops with Alara's whole thing. So she kind of started off obsessed with the stone, and then she never really got to not be obsessed. She didn't get to a point where she can be like, well, at least I have X thing. I mean, she could have just said, well, at least I have my team and my sister and everything, but she takes people for granted, I think.
You
And
weren't
then
enough for her. I hear. Whatever.
pretty much. Yeah, the
Yeah.
moon grass was always greener. She assumed the thing she didn't have was better than what she did have. And then it got taken away from her multiple times.
Now it's just gone.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, Calvin, can you do the Gollum voice for precious?
Yes. It's basically that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was, gosh, I was super scared about the whole, like, in that second last episode, because I didn't want to disrupt the entire game, because I knew we had like a whole big group thing to go do, and I felt really bad. But it was like, what else would she do?
I think I've harped on this before with our group, but one of the things that I love the most when we say it's what my character would do, that's not a code for I'm being an asshole and I want to get my way. It's literally what my character would do, and everybody is cool about it, and I love that.
Yeah. That's why I was nervous, because I was like, I don't know if this is gonna disrupt everything, but
I literally attacked a Far Side delegate because I wanted Eric back. So
Yeah, there was that.
yeah.
we've all done things.
Very.
Laura didn't even get a hero point for it. Ursa got a hero point for attacking the far side delegate.
Is that heroic though?
It's acting on your complications. Yeah, I'm still in the am I gonna give
No,
Alara
Wiki,
the
I'm
Moonstone
not.
part of my planning for it.
I'm so ready for Kevin's question.
What?
You are the last one up for this set.
I can't wait.
She might have a
As-
question for me.
What's your question for you? How do you question? Well, no,
No.
I know how you question yourself. but,
Wiki
you know.
might have a question for me.
Oh.
How
Well,
was it being Chat's boyfriend rather than its whipping boy, Kevin?
Some relationships are more abusive than others. It's just as you travel life's highway and you have multiple relationships. Well, that's just everyone's different.
How did it feel being a sex symbol, though? That's got to be exciting.
That was bizarre for me. I've never been a sex symbol before. That's really never happened.
Freedom City Monthly is going to have Kevin as the world's sexiest man.
God.
Somebody with Photoshop skills, make that happen for me, please.
Oh
No.
no.
I have a
Oh,
Photoshop
God.
skill.
And that's all it took. Yes. Throwing a match onto a pool of gasoline.
Did it take you by surprise, Kevin, that everybody was so excited about Chimera?
Yes, that wasn't what I was going for, really. Again, that's the whole drive, like what inhuman, bizarre, disconnected, and not sex symbol at all. That's not where I saw that going.
But
Well,
those
you know.
abs.
There was a whole bunch of fandom that was also into, what was this? Oh, God, I'm just using his name. I lost it. Sorry.
Sorry.
My favorite thing is that Kevin went from Centuria being obsessed with his character and having to deal with that uncomfortableness to literally the entire chat just targeting him in a really uncomfortable way. The grass isn't always greener, man.
Well, again, thinking literal statue. I don't know. I never saw statues as sex symbols.
You made a
Wicked.
naked alien with an 8-pack. What were you guys?
I didn't draw the character. I mean,
You also
Yeah,
didn't
what
say
they
remove. You also did not say remove the 8-pack, please.
well, okay. Again, I didn't think it was a big deal. until it was a big deal, and then it was kind of late because the art was already paid for. So
When you like wrote up your character, like your description to send to Savannah, did you write no pants? Like was that
I
a
don't-
note that you made?
I don't think I said no pants. I just said not wearing clothes. Like not like again, it's going for that like it's an animated statue kind of thing, rather than yeah.
How'd that go for you?
Uh-uh.
Michelangelo would like a word, sir. Both the turtle and the Renaissance artist.
Oh,
The turtle.
Oh boy.
The art commissions that we got from Savannah were just really, really good. So I think
Yes.
that contributed to it.
Amazing.
Savannah is great.
I can't wait to see her take on some more of our characters.
Gosh, I'm so excited for my next character, y'all.
Uh-oh. Wiki's out here asking plot questions to Alex now.
Oh, though that is a good plot question. When they ended up on Earth, did they somehow end up on an alternate Earth? Well, I'm just gonna say that next season of Nether War is all about the multiverse.
Oh, but
So they're gonna have to. Are the Nether War crew gonna have to save the Starhaven crew?
Oh God.
Something weird.
Crossing
must have
over with
happened.
ourselves?
Something weird might have happened when the Moonstone went away into the toaster.
Why did you do me like that with Toasty, by the way? I have that question.
yeah, why Toasty?
I mean, Toasty has the mind of a preserver who is playing 10-dimensional chess with everybody, trying to protect the multiverse from a sentient black hole that wants to eat everything.
I thought Toasty cared about my well-being.
The reason you're on an alter Earth might have something to do with Toasty caring about all of you all.
I don't believe him. What about Watson?
Watson was always a dick.
Yeah, he was.
We were just starting to get along.
No.
That's what he wanted you to think.
Watson was getting along with Alara. That should have been your first clue.
You're right.
True.
Yeah.
He chose the wrong twin.
But Toasty has a plan. Toasty has a big game plan. And he's probably not going to be a toaster the next time we see him.
He's upgraded to a crockpot.
He's a refrigerator with Wi-Fi now.
Oh no. Toasty's hanging out with Bowman's tooth from the Terminus.
It worries me you remember that.
Oh, that tooth has not left my thoughts.
He's a
Wiki's,
Peloton.
yes, Wiki says he's a Peloton.
Toothman is
Ooh.
coming for you, Bowman.
Can't wait for the day that we fight Toothman.
His little dental floss bow and arrows.
Oh.
Enamel armor.
I didn't even think about Toothman being an archer.
He's got the same little headscarf thing that Bowman wears.
Oh, fun question. Who ships who with whom?
Aelin and Chimera.
Albion and Chimera.
Aelin and Chimera.
I was actually gonna say, I think Flynn and Aelin was something I was shipping in like very early game is something I was shipping.
Yep, and I dodged that.
I mean, I was shipping Flynn and Alara, but obviously that didn't work out. And now I like Ogress, so back to Aelin and Chimera.
Ogress is such a good romantic partner.
Oh no, I have one. Aelin and Daedalus from the karaoke night.
Wow. Wow.
Oof.
That was a good one.
Flynn and most of Nether War.
Yeah.
Wow.
Flynn and all of Freedom Lead Dark.
I don't know that Resident would know what to do with that.
They don't have sex on LaFondie.
Which isn't, I mean,
I hope that's not true.
You hear that?
ah,
I live there now.
Wow.
Lore
Lore
not
not
accepted.
wait, you don't accept
Thank
the
you,
Lore
Wiki.
Republic on LaFondie at all? Ah.
Daddyless in death.
Deuce has a spoiler question.
Is season 2 the Moon Clone Wars, or I guess how many Moons are there currently? How many Moons are there currently? Let me check my notes.
Uh-oh.
Answer hazy.
I
Ask
don't
him
love
later.
that.
Yep.
There are 9 Moons currently in my notes. In various capacities as Moons. With Astaria being wherever Toasty went.
That's the only other one we met.
That's true.
That you know
Oh.
of.
Okay. Yeah.
As for what season 2 is going to be, some of it will be the Moon Clone Wars, probably. I will not say if Astaria is actually the original.
No, she's not.
Maybe in this alt Earth reality.
She's the telepathic twin.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them is the original, but I can't say who or which.
Mom and Kiger.
Yes.
That'd be funny.
But some of season 2 will be the Moon Clone Wars, depending on if we're able to get Farside City back during Nether War season 2. And I left a clue as to where Farside City is somewhere in this video when we were answering one of the questions. So dial back and go look through the footage. But the other thing that we'll be dealing with is the fate of the Arcanthians and the Curator.
Which we didn't really get into too much, which was okay with me. I tried not to be a central pillar of this team.
And he was like, "Don't look at me! Don't look at me!"
Yeah, it's too warm over here.
Yeah, the Curator's coming. He has plans for Starhaven now that it's doing its thing. Wiki says, if your character was an animal, which animal would they be and why?
Ferret.
Flynn the Ferret?
Yes.
It's a good choice.
Does it have to be a real animal, or can it be a fictional animal? Because obviously I took a lot of inspiration from the kitsune.
I think a real animal.
Curse you.
Just say fox.
Nope, Wiki says dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. Oh, Wiki's the dealer.
Fox would be a close number 2
Yeah.
for me.
If you were the Rye Guardians of Haven.
Yeah. I almost imagine this happening at one of the idiot box. He gets turned into a fox, and then someone goes, copyright warning, and he pops into a ferret.
Oh yeah, that mouse is gonna sue us.
Kat, Calvin, Kevin.
I really don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting to the question of the day too. I mean, I'm going for machine-like, so it's right on an animal. Like I don't know. I don't.
Rock.
Yeah, a rock. It's not an animal, but
Pet rock.
A bee.
Pet rock.
Furby.
A bee or a spider. Something that builds something.
Or drones, like a worker bee.
Okay. I guess. I don't know.
Kevin, your pet rock thing is the whole reason that the inert state of the Chimera units is as a spherical boulder.
Down, Deuce, down.
Do Ursa and Alara have to be the same animal?
Well, they're
One
not
can
the
be a
same
raven, one can be a
personality
raven.
wise.
I would say no, and it's never explained. We're twins. Why are you a bunny and he's a badger? Don't ask.
Why are you an eagle and he's a bucket of water?
Wow. I want out the Wonder Twins like that.
And
Yep.
And Lady Lunar is something completely different.
Lady Lunar's the swan, Alara's the goose, and Ursa's the duck. Everybody knows.
Oh,
I have
wow.
to be a duck.
Whack.
Whack.
Could be worse. You could be Canadian geese.
Yeah, that would.
That is way worse.
Yeah, that's definitely what Alara is.
A goose?
Is you stay away from her if you get too close, and if you piss her off,
She breaks your leg.
yeah,
She will crunch your mind.
Oh my god. That's
Hmm.
amazing. I don't know. Ursa's like a prairie dog or something. I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I really don't know.
Pretty sure Canadian
Actually-
goose is Centuria.
very good.
Not at all, Deuce. Not at all.
Deuce's question is how disappointed was the cast for not having a musical episode this season? Yeah, no.
I'm
No.
incredibly
While
disappointed.
I would have loved to listen to it, I would not have loved to partake. So not
Uh,
this
The
If
next
we
time
keep
we go in the
repeating the
idiot box,
phrase.
we are doing the late night, like, now that's what I call a music commercial.
we have to tread very, very carefully to not get kicked off of Twitch when if we were to do a musical of any type.
That's the thing.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about copyrighted music. I suppose if we were just doing as long as we're not playing the music, we're okay.
Yeah,
But who knows?
This part's mostly filler.
19 Starhaven tracks on 3 Moon CDs.
oh, for 3 easy payments of $99.99.
Damn.
What are we, Magic the Gathering? What's happening over here?
Besides Kevin being a sex symbol, which we all saw coming, what was the most unexpected theme to come from this season?
Which we all saw coming.
Betrayal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say. Yeah.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I had the feeling that this was going to be a very much like a found family type of theme amongst the entire crew, based on how we had put everything kind of together. Definitely did not expect the Moon Twins schism at the end there until, I mean, we were definitely leading up to it as the season went along, but it was one of those things like that was not something I expected at the beginning of the season.
I mean, after Phoenix, I'm always keeping an eye on Andy's character, but I did not expect it from the twins at all.
That's what I least expected, was how many times Phoenix died.
The number of insurrections, that was a little shocking to me.
Yeah.
How many uprisings can we have in one city?
That was a lot. There was a lot of uprisings.
Starhaven was pure chaos in like the back half.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, Daedalus, that whole Daedalus Icarus storyline, I was surprised how it played out. And not just because Icarus died, but just...
And Daedalus.
Because Daedalus did too.
Well, that was surprising also. But just the way Daedalus got into the group and then immediately got out of the group.
Just the way we wanted it.
Well, we can't kill him, then Paul can't come back.
True.
We do need Paul to come back so Daedalus can get some good points again.
We just we just need to wait 2 weeks to 4 years or something, whatever the time frame was.
2 weeks to 10 years, yeah. But Mortis went and got him. He's back now.
You're welcome.
On which
I
Earth,
agree,
though?
though, with the Moon Moon Twins thing. I think Alara being as dark as Alara ended up being, I don't think I was expecting that from Calvin.
I wasn't expecting it at the start. Part of me kind of thought we were going to be dealing with like I thought the moon stuff was just going to be over there, and then they all
Yeah.
show up at the same time.
Like when, Calvin just like sacrificed that guy and to take the Moonstone, then didn't end up getting the Moonstone anyway.
I got called out for monologuing.
All those villain beats. I'm excited for super villain Alara.
I think
yeah.
Part of this was the fact that Alex wanted Starhaven to be kind of a sandbox, and so that we could kind of go anywhere and do whatever we wanted. So he threw all of the spaghetti at the wall at the very beginning, and we had to follow a plot thread because we could only do one thing at a time. And I think that probably predicated some of the stuff that ended up happening, because that was the plot thread that we chose to go down. But yeah, it still didn't see the betrayals and stuff coming.
Yeah, admittedly, I'm not great at running a sandbox game, because I'm a story-driven GM. I like following a story, and watching the events of that story unfold, and not really like, okay, we did a little bit with this plot, now we're gonna put this down and go do a little bit with this plot, and now we're gonna put this down. I don't know. That's just not how my storytelling brain works. I would like to run a real sandbox someday, but I need the right idea for it to make it happen. And I need to be patient enough to let the heroes go do their thing instead of getting caught up in a big epic story as like the first thing they pick up. Deuce says, Alex, how excited was I to have an Icarus arc in the story? I was very excited to have Icarus around in the story, and then I was less excited when so one of my favorite things about the Icarus story is Valerius Cornu being the one guy that had his identity stolen by everybody in Starhaven. I was excited to have one guy in a bunch of different places because he was just bad at internet security and easy to mug. So I liked having this one Valerius who had a relationship with, or tried to have a relationship with Ursa, and then Kat was like, "Get away from me, you handsome stranger."
She's got a boo.
I don't know you.
That's my purse.
Yep.
And I really thought he was going to play a bigger part in the story, but between the Gru stealing his identity and him getting tied up with Daedalus, and then him just dying pretty nonchalantly in the big fight that he was a part of, yeah. I was excited about it, but it didn't play out the way I wanted it to play out. But sometimes that's how it goes when you're GMing. Sometimes the players zig when you think they're going to zag.
Which Valerius was the one that tried to romance Ursa?
That was Icarus.
That was Icarus. All confused in my head.
Because he did say something very specific about flying close to the sun. And I was very suspicious of that for like a while. And then
I didn't even catch that.
No, yeah, that's true. You didn't, because I messaged you
You were
privately
like-
going, I know
You're
what's
like,
going
"Do
on.
you know who this is?" And I was like, no. No clue.
Yeah,
But I also didn't know that Phoenix and Icarus were the same person before this game. So
yeah, that
that's
was
how much I've watched.
But Starhaven seemed like the right place to have Daedalus. I mean, Starhaven's where Daedalus showed up in Heroes Incorporated all those years ago. That was where Andy betrayed the party as Phoenix. Was when the Heroes Incorporated went to Starhaven, before I really knew what Starhaven was. many years ago.
I didn't think it was
Wow.
Starhaven. I thought we were.
No, it was Starhaven. I went back and checked the notes.
Oh, okay.
That was Star Island.
No, it was they went to Star Island and then we went to Starhaven.
Mm.
But that was when Starhaven was just a sentence in the Cosmic Handbook rather than a whole setting of its own.
Ah, That makes sense.
But knowing that Daedalus has such a big part to play in Starhaven, this feels like the right place for Icarus to be lurking, trying to get revenge on his father. But the best laid plans are not great. Wiki says, does everyone think that the ferryman is full of absolute shit as I do? Especially with the blaming her for the choice to attack a superpowered villain who had already been murdery and who was willing to blow people up out of spite.
Yes.
The way that she attacked him is what it was. The monologuing, the unwillingness at all to even think about helping him when the moonstone was right there. While yes, I do believe that like he probably should have cut her some slack. I'm like, what she did there was a little bit super villainy.
Alex, were you going for kind of like a Spectre-ish vibe with the ferryman?
A little bit. He's
Okay.
a moralizing being who sort of exists outside of time and space, who is there to be the decider for who gets the moonstone.
Yeah, that was kind of the impression that I was getting from him. I would say that yes, absolutely, Wiki was spot on in his thing, because he didn't portray it in a manner that didn't seem judgmental. Like if he had, like, yes, I know he's like sort of passing judgment to some degree, but if he had presented his arguments a little bit better, because you could see where he was trying to get to Alara to get into that frame of mind of like, I need to be thinking better, I need to be thinking smarter about this. His delivery was just shite.
He's not used to talking to people.
Right.
Apparently.
And he's not infallible. I mean, he did allow Lady Lunar to have the moonstone for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Which,
yeah,
that guy
Probably
sucks.
just overcautious.
Yeah, now he's overcautious.
Yeah, I think like myself, like I Calvin think he may be a jerk, but not incorrect. I don't know that Alar was ready for that power. Probably wasn't at that point in time, and probably would have. I don't know what she would have done, but clearly she wasn't a hero in that moment.
Do you think she's ready for it now?
I don't know. She got humbled pretty badly. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, and the ferryman's not the only being like him. Each of the stones has their own fairy person entity tied to them who determines who gets to wield the stone.
Great.
And not all of them have the same values. I mean, some of them, like the Nightstone, is held by Blackguard and all of his horrible Sinestro core dudes.
Ambiguous cosmic entity being ambiguous. Great.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Wiki says, which of the other characters would have actually helped him, though? Because maybe Aelin, but the rest of you reprobates now.
Yeah, I don't know that Ursa would have helped him. TBH.
I don't know.
I think Flynn would have turned the other cheek. I don't think Flynn likes to attack a defenseless enemy.
Oh boy.
But Deuce wants to know, since it was a little more pirate-themed, what was everyone's favorite villainous or anti-hero-esque moment for their character?
I have two.
For it.
The first was blowing up the car in the hover sled at the warehouse with the giant explosion where we just rocked the warehouse, because that was just poor Alex was not ready for that. And then the other moment was the fight where I launched myself against the turrets, where we were fighting. The turrets were also attacking us, and I launched myself and did the very swashbuckler-esque landing on the other one, blowing it up and landing on the other one, and all that stuff. That was pretty. That was the most comic book. I can see the panels in my head when I was describing it. Moment. So
It's pretty sweet.
For me, it was passing judgment on Conan and then sitting in the chair of power on Starhaven, declaring that the Guardians owned it.
Who runs Bartertown? Galen runs Bartertown.
I didn't know where that was gonna go. I was like, is Auntie becoming Queen of Starhaven right now?
Somebody had to take power just to keep some semblance of order and maybe focus efforts. And since everyone was already anyone that had power was already very aware of us and very wary of us for good reason, it would have at least made them come to the table. That was the whole thinking behind that. So
one day I'm gonna run a game set in Westeros with all of you just to see what happens.
Oh dear God.
Oh,
no.
You all be part of the same royal house, so you're not competing with each other.
Have you seen Game of Thrones?
I was like, I don't think that's right.
That's not how that works. That's not how it works,
And,
Alex.
and somehow I'm playing Flynn still. I don't.
The Starks are generally pushing in the same direction.
Generally.
By the
They
end,
mostly come out at night.
Thanks, Wiki.
Kevin's character will die immediately. Bye, Kevin.
Kevin's gonna be the Ned Stark of our show.
There might be a rule set for that called Sword Chronicles. Just saying.
There is. Maybe we'll go there for Nether War Season 2.
Oh Lord.
Oh man.
Cat, Calvin. I think we know Calvin's. But is it?
The entire season.
Pretty much.
At least after coming back from having almost died in the first couple of episodes, yes.
I mean, if I had to pick like a villainous moment, I mean, this is largely because it was really funny in retrospect. It was just that moment where the building exploded and I got caught monologuing. I don't know why, that was just really funny to me. Because that's just a trope that always gets made fun of, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. I was just being the character, and and that's what it was. I'm just standing over an enemy I assume has fallen, doing a villainous monologue, not being aware of my surroundings. If I was standing on top of a train or something, that would be the moment when a tunnel shows up. I stumbled right into villain boots. I didn't even notice.
I have never been more excited about a failed perception check ever. You're like, I'm not gonna spend it just in case I need to use my hero point to survive.
Oh my goodness. I also have two, and they're not very good, but my first one is that when we were fighting the acid boars, and to start the fight, Ursa decided that she was gonna throw the eggs at the mom. That was a good one. And then when we were fighting Eric and Astaria, and Ursa was literally tearing like off pieces of cars and buildings and stuff to build the giant wall and dome so that nobody else could get to them, so that they could get Eric.
Yeah.
That shit was probably fucked up if you owned like a car in the nearby field.
It's okay. They got insurance.
They got superhero insurance. Yeah. And then, did Kevin go?
Oh, not yet.
Probably when Chimera dumped that guy into the blue goop and he just got dissolved. I mean, that was pretty
Dark.
merciless.
Okay, so Alex, you have to clear this up for Wiki because she was asking. We did have the mental stuff wiped from Alara's mind, correct? Both Ursa, Alara, and
Eric and Astaria.
Eric, yeah, all had that
The
done.
So that was the psychoscape, and Angelique did say that she didn't sense any more traces of Lady Lunar's presence, but when Angelique first proposed the thing, she said it would take about a month of time to get through it.
That was before the ferryman shows up in our mindscape.
Yep.
So we don't know what happened specifically. I thought that had been taken care of, but I wasn't certain.
Yeah, the ferryman sort of messed with that a little bit. May have accelerated that process or included other conditionings that the heroes don't know about yet.
Oh.
Just nobody play a dinner bell in front of the heroes.
I did forget about Ursa bringing down that pyramid.
That was a good time.
But I held it up so everybody could get out. So, you win some, you lose.
Oh, Ursa carrying the ship as well. It was pretty sweet.
That was cool.
Very Jean Grey of you.
Very heroic moment, though. Not anti-villain or not
True.
anti-hero or villainous moment.
You know what my favorite villainous moment was? When you all made Calvin put that cute critter down.
Oh. No.
The poor
Ooh.
Those
hero.
things are evil. Those things are pure evil.
Still want to go get it though.
All they wanted was to chew on your ship parts. You don't need ship parts. You have a perfectly good telekinetic right there. You can just pretend it's a spaceship.
Albion vehemently disagrees.
Yes.
Please don't eat my ship parts.
I need those for shipping.
And shipping.
Mhm.
Right.
One moment of anti-hero stuff that you all did that blew me away was when you were surrounded in the warehouse and Jonesy blew it the fuck up. And you all fled into the sewers instead of fighting the enemies that I spent all that time putting on the map.
Yep. And we're out of here.
You guys are like,
Josie
nah,
was like, no.
we're not gonna get arrested, and we're not gonna cause a scene with the Aegis security people.
It might stop me from being able to hook up with Hat Rack. So no.
I went and I statted up Centuria gunships. I loaded them into Roll20. I worked so tirelessly. Alara will claim
Until
the
next
moon
time.
with her army of metal-hungry Furbies.
Yeah. Oh, I should have stayed on Earth and got some Furbies.
Ugh, I love the pirouettes. They're so fun. I wish we had art of them, because that would have been cool. But Midjourney was able to spit something cute out for me.
I also wish you had art for them.
Yeah. What other questions do we have, y'all?
Or where did we leave? Or is this a good time to take a break? Let people come back with questions as we get a little bit of water and.
That's a good idea. We'll get up, stretch, grab a drink, grab a snack. And then Kat does have a question in Discord that I will share when we get back.
Hold on, Deuce. That was Calvin. Calvin said which one. You keep giving me credit for that. That was Calvin's joke.
Honestly, we keep getting like mixed up with each other so many times. I think I'm starting to realize how like actual twins feel. Because we did also pick very similar names.
It's true.
That was so good. Solo. I feel so bad for Solo. Cool. Well, yeah, we're going to get up, stretch, and then we'll come back to answer more questions. If you want to leave them in the chat, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. I pushed this over. Everybody fall down.
What?
Ah,
What?
bad joke. Bad joke.
We're live. We're back here for the our Talkback for
I'm
Guardians
so
of Haven
confused.
Season 1. Thank you, everybody who's been hanging out with us here tonight and asking all your wonderful questions and dealing with us while I figure out how to MC one of these things, because this is Andy's gig. Wiki wants to know if the theme of Season 2's on this channel is going to be weddings. And maybe. We have a very big wedding coming up in Nether War Season 2. That I'm very excited about. I don't know who's going to get married in Season 2 of this show.
Chimera and Aelin.
Chimera and Aelin. Ursa and Gruck.
Ursa and Grok.
No.
Alara and Agras.
There we go.
That one's actually realistic.
Mhm.
No,
Uh,
it's going to be some sort of prearranged, you know, royal obligation marriage.
Yeah.
oh.
Hmm.
Yikes.
It's gonna end with the big, firefight in the chapel, and very 1980s dynasty.
That actually sounds pretty cool. I want to do that.
Alara's gonna have an arranged marriage, and Agris is gonna be like, "No, but I love you." And Alara's like, "But I have to marry this guy because he'll give me large tracts of land in Poland or something."
It's gonna be like that scene from Shrek. He's
Mhm.
gonna be like, I object. He's gonna run in, and then the guy who Alara is marrying is gonna get eaten by a dragon.
Do the bar.
Moon dragon.
If Alara becomes Moon Queen, we get a King Agris? Yes,
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah.
Actually, probably Queen Consort Agris. I don't think she'd let him be King Agris.
Hmm.
Man candy Agris.
Her Majesty's Royal Scepter.
Flynn and Hatrack.
And Warden Maximus says, "Was there an event that you were sure was coming that never happened?" I have several, but I need a minute to think about them. Because there were many times that you guys zigged when I thought you were going to zag. I thought for sure you guys were going to go back and help Icarus fighting the Omega Buster armor. That didn't happen.
You thought wrong.
Pirates.
You best start believing in
He
pirate
fell in-
games.
He fell into the goo.
He did fall into the goo.
Fishing him out of the goo.
I thought the Children of Chrysalis were going to play a bigger part in everything that was going on. But they were sort of widely ignored until they were shut down very quickly.
I mean, they kind of opened the door to the whole siege of Starhaven, so not like they weren't doing things behind the scenes. It just was not part of the plot thread that we pulled the hardest on.
Thought we were gonna see more of what was happening with Chimera inside his little head. We sort of did, but not quite to the point where I was thinking.
I do want to explore more of that in season 2.
Super curious about that.
After Kevin and I have had a chance to actually lay down some rules instead of me just throwing stuff in Kevin's lap.
Rules. Not for me, fools. Oh, sorry.
Ooh. I don't know that there was anything else that I saw or thought we were gonna get to that we didn't really. I mean, I know there's dangling plot threads from a couple of other people's backgrounds and stuff that need to be fleshed out more, but I think it was the way the story went, it made sense that we didn't get there this season.
I thought Trinity was going to show up more often.
Didn't get a chance to be the face behind the scenes. May not have thought that whole thing through fully as to how to do that while playing the character.
And I'm excited to see more of what happens now that the Chimera units are coming back online. Thanks to Chimera knowing how to turn them on.
Yeah, but I don't think we totally turned them on. I don't think that was part of the plan at the end there.
Wasn't that a Robert Palmer song? I didn't mean to turn you on. Is that season 2, episode 1?
Maybe next season we'll do parody titles.
Oh, Lord.
Like, change a couple words in titles. Because I used all of the songs as is for this season.
There goes our thirsty chat again.
Here they go.
I I don't know if there was any events I was expecting to see or didn't see. There was a. I will say I was expecting to leave Starhaven a little more often. I think see other parts of the setting. Um,
I do think that's going to be a bigger part of the next time we come back to these characters too.
and I was expecting to have another run-in with Captain Kraken, but that's what
Well,
season two's for.
We need to thoroughly explore Starhaven this season so that we could read our books and see what it's about. Without breaking the fourth wall.
What?
Now we're free to read.
Yeah.
It's true. Anybody who has the Starhaven book can read it now. How much do you think your character changed from session 0 to the season finale?
Calvin.
You want a number or
On a scale of 1 to candy corn, how banana pancakes was your progression?
Yeah, a lot. She became a lot, I guess, darker of a character once I actually started playing her, and she was on the trail of her obsessions and everything. I don't want to say she was like completely different, because the core thing that she was after was largely the same. I don't know. I certainly didn't think about her having like any sort of love interest or getting emotional about shapes or any of that stuff that actually did happen. But yeah, I think she ended up being more villainous than I anticipated her to be towards the end. Like, not so much even just anti-hero or just edgy hero, just like straight up, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to play her next season kind of villainous.
Mm.
I've been so mad at you. I'm gonna be the only alive twin.
Wow.
Well, who has an answer to this? Who should I throw it to?
And none of us have answered it besides you, so
Yeah, I don't know who to. I don't want to spring it on someone.
Do it.
Fine, Kevin.
The character changed quite a bit actually from the original conception, and almost all of it was completely unannounced from the GM. Again, I envision Chimera as this bizarre, unique artifact of a lost time period that ends up, there's a lot of them. The various, the whole, Chimera units are made like Soylent Green from people. The dark entity. So there was, quite a bit of change sort of going on from the original concept, I would say. Lots of change. All of it surprising. So I guess the GM has indicated we'll chat about season 2. So maybe we'll have more structure. I don't know. Never know. It's fun to just wing it. Over to you, Josie.
Very little.
Was planning on being Data, ended up being cast as 7 of 9.
Thanks, Josie. Thanks.
Well, as far as Flynn pretty much stayed on point. If anything, he's a little bit more reserved than originally planned. Not quite as lecherous as intended initially, but pretty much, I mean, he wasn't a very involved or deep character concept, so he didn't have a lot of ways to go off the rails. So that was Flynn. Cat, what about you?
Ursa changed a bunch. I already said a little bit about this earlier, but when I first was writing her up, she's a lot more aloof and she was a lot more innocent. Um, sort of this very like blind, untrustworthy flower character. And I quickly learned that I cannot play that. That type of character is not for Cat. So she's sort of formed into a more like she's still trustworthy, but she's trustworthy to the point where it's really like she trusts her sister blindly. Um, and became she still had a little bit of aloofness, but it was more situational. So I just sort of toned her down the original idea that I had. And then obviously character development happened over the course of the entire season, and now I feel like she's grown a lot into her own person and is learning to stand on her own 2 feet. And I'm like really proud of her, even though she's not real, but like I'm really proud of her. Yeah. And so Andy.
Aelin pretty much stayed how I envisioned her from session 0. I kind of wanted to be a little bit of the behind the scenes person that was basically getting others to do things for her. I think that came across a little bit when she would always like start with a decision and then defer to Flynn to try to like, it's yes, like, are we doing this? It's like, I've already come up with this idea. Are we doing this? And then because I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be the outright leader for this group. I would say that she did get a decent amount of character growth. I was trying to do a little bit more fighting between the 3 personalities at the beginning of the season, and a little bit less as the season went on, and they kind of all came to some unspoken agreement that this was the way they were going to survive within this found family. So I think they got a little bit of catharsis at the end from taking out Conan. Where they go from here, I guess that's a whole different story. We'll see about in season 2.
I think that's everyone.
Yeah, that's everyone.
For me, I thought it was going to be a lighthearted space romp, and then it wasn't.
Munch. Oh, wait. It's not lighthearted.
Deuce wants to know if there's any plans for new/upgraded abilities for season 2.
Time away, boy.
I want to upgrade the ship.
I'm very excited the ship has an AI going into season 2, and I'm excited to see what other abilities you give the ship as we venture into our starfaring portion of the game.
I don't know that there's a whole lot for Aelin for powers that will change. I mean, I can definitely with brains and her ability to kind of create gadgets and stuff, because she does have the inventor advantage. That'll allow me to do some stuff and maybe tinker with some of her powers a little bit more. But I mean, for the most part, for Aelin and Braun, a lot of the stuff will just be, changing of equipment. They're not a super heroic character, so that I don't feel like there won't be any changes in her power sets, so to speak. I already spent a ton of points on summon, and I used it responsibly. Alex cannot say that summon was used in a horrible way in this game.
Thank you for summoning responsibly. GMs, if you're running an M&M game, I would not recommend allowing summon as a power for player characters unless you have an excellent player character like Andy.
It's not an easy power to it's not an easy power to regulate because you can very easily overwhelm a battlefield with that power.
Yeah, Alex, I'm gonna need you to adopt Bill from my home group and not let him make his own characters ever again.
I'll tell him no if you want.
I did tell him no, but like, unfortunately, when he has free time, he sits around coming up with ridiculous character concepts. His latest brainchild was a character who has no powers except this weird regeneration summon combo that when he gets hit, he makes another one of himself, and his attack is to terrify people. No, Bill. No. You can run that for Jason's group. I'm not dealing with it.
That's not my problem.
NMP.
Anybody else?
I gotta be able to hit robots. Didn't realize how many there would be on Starhaven. I actually did, like, at the end, like, I spent some points on like a physical weapon, and then I never actually used it, and I never brought up that I had it, which was totally fine.
That's dedication, man.
No, I need something that actually like deals with stuff that isn't just like sentient, has a mind thing that I can go in there and crouch. So Alara is gonna have to work on her weapon, like using an actual weapon, and because her strength is, I want to leave it as -1 as long as possible. Probably gonna have to be a ranged weapon.
Flynn can help teach you.
She'd be into that.
Bowman's going to teach everybody how to use the bow next season.
Oh,
Wow.
Don't tempt me. I want a cool space energy bow.
We are the Archer Guardians of Haven.
Bo alien.
I feel like I want to upgrade Ursa, but I don't really know how else to upgrade Ursa. I thought about maybe giving her like almost like a Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy, so she has like a really sharp needle thing that she can just send through people. But haven't decided yet. So
That'd be pretty dope.
we'll see. We will see. Are you excited about having adventures underwater next season? Yes.
Yeah.
Alex just wants to get all of us in spacesuits.
Not all of us.
Not all
That's
of us.
true. Chimera doesn't need a spacesuit.
Chimera will remain naked.
And
We can't have
chat
that.
is happy.
We can't have the chat protesting and boycotting. We gotta.
Give the people what they want.
Hmm.
Enterprise decontamination chambers. Flynn is not super excited about going underwater. Just because it means he's gonna want to have to retrofit the ship just in case. But
I thought all spaceships worked well underwater. I mean, isn't that what we learned from?
Enterprise.
No. Into Darkness.
Oh, Star Trek Into Darkness.
Here, we're in the Enterprise in a lake.
We submerged our ship under the ocean because we don't want them to see us. Couldn't you just beam down from orbit?
Yeah, okay, it's just stay in orbit. Yeah, geosynchronous orbit, so you wouldn't.
When your Deus Ex needs an oil change.
But Jonesy's super excited. I've been tempted to run a D&D game set underwater, a Mutants and Masterminds game set in Atlantis, like a whole like I for some bizarre reason really want to run an underwater game and have for years. So
yeah, I'm excited. I actually thought, because like I said, I thought I wouldn't be able to play Alara next season. I had an idea for a Hexam character that was kind of just basically based on something I was making for a Starfinder game. A cool character I didn't get to use, so they were going to be an NPC, but I was like, maybe I can make them a Hexam here. But Alara's still around, so that character will continue to not exist.
I can arrange for that if you want.
We'll see where it goes.
We transformed Alara into an Hexam. Let's see what happens.
We're gonna Commander Shepard the beginning of Mass Effect 2 for Alara in season 2.
Takes a big boom to get there first, though.
Let me see. Who is your guys' favorite person to fight this season? There are a lot of pretty good fights.
Ancha, because I got the quip with him. That fight's been so long ago. When somebody asked what were our favorite one-liners, I couldn't remember because they were all in that fight, I felt like.
I liked Hansha, even though he was sort of annoying.
I liked fighting Astaria and Eric in the city. Because it was like, I don't want to hurt Eric, but also like, he's actually trying to kill me, so... That was
My favorite part about that
dinosaurs.
fight was you went through all the effort of taking him, and then everybody said, put him back.
I don't want to talk about it.
But you know what I love most about that is Alara would not have done that.
Not to put him back?
If it had been the Moonstone instead of Eric,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, put it back.
Alara's a meanie pants, so...
Yeah, she... yeah.
But Ursa proved at that moment that she would choose the group before herself.
Yeah.
And that's when she became the favorite sister. I mean,
What?
Wow.
I mean, of course.
Wow.
Out of the three of them.
Was it out loud?
Oh man.
No, I have no doubts of who's the favorite among the twins.
Toasty, obviously.
Oh.
Astaria?
I love Astaria.
I hate Astaria.
She's messy.
So does Ursa.
What? Ursa doesn't like her?
Yeah, I know, you never would have guessed.
It's because all that stuff she did with her boyfriend, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
Totally.
dumb bitch.
Wow. Wow.
All right, next question.
Besides Alara retaking the moon, does everyone have a piece of unfinished business they need to attend to next season? We'll throw that at Chimera.
And again, yes, in a meta sense, there's unfinished business, but I mean, Chimera is very much a creature of the moment. But there's, the various personalities floating around in his head. There's some stuff that we're going to put under the spoiler alert seal and not talk about right now. Yes, there's definitely unfinished business for Chimera. Aelin, over to you.
I don't know that Aelin necessarily has unfinished business. Obviously, there's some stuff that she probably still wants to do on Starhaven within her Trinity persona, making sure things continue to get where they need to go. I think there is a bit of a sort of Damocles being hung over her head with the collector and that whole bit from Hansha's mind mind wizardry that he did, where we weren't sure if we were seeing a future that was going to come to pass or could come to pass, or to pass, I should say. So that might be something that's weighing on her a little bit, but I don't necessarily know that that's unfinished business. Flynn?
Not really. And I say that mostly because I will confess, of everyone, I was the biggest slacker, and my backstory is the thinnest. So that probably will change between now and next season. So he will miraculously get unfinished business between now and next season. But yeah, nothing specifically jumps out right now for Flynn.
There's those creepy bug things that ate your family. We got to deal with that probably.
Do I have to? Oh.
I mean, you might not think you have to, but it's probably going to come up. The Festrin.
I was pretty proud of them. That was pretty. Those were a Jonesy creation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you created them. You definitely have to deal with them. We're not supposed to have favorites, but everybody has a favorite. I don't have a favorite.
Bull.
It's a deception.
I love all of you equally.
Mm-hmm.
He has a favorite. It's called Arctic Fox.
Yes.
He's not here. He's on Earth doing Earth things. Actually, spoiler alert for the 30th, when we do our Christmas Idiot Box adventure, there is a Christmas Fox planned as one of the TV shows. It's like a Christmas Prince, but with a Russian supervillain instead of a...
Oh boy.
You're
a big man, white Fox.
Again?
Everybody should love
likes
him.
reality shows. Okay, leave him alone.
It's Arctic Fox's favorite TV. Survivor Christmas. Have they ever done Arctic Survivor before? That would be cool. That seems dangerous.
I mean,
I think
Island
they do have a
Survivor is as
show.
dangerous as it is. I don't think there's ever been a Survivor that has not been tropical. But I do not pay that much attention to Survivor.
That's fair. There is one. Survivor the Arctic Circle.
Yeesh.
Wow.
That sucks.
With
Okay.
nothing but this ordinary dog as a companion.
Is The Thing a Christmas movie? Can I add that to the Christmas?
It is not a Christmas movie.
Wow. Just because there's snow doesn't make it Christmas. Come on.
Exactly.
Man. Come on, man.
It's a winter movie, but it's not a.
But if
Now,
we
if
do
they
Die
would-
Hard, does that fine?
Yes.
Hey, that
I
is
thought
a
he was
Christmas
gonna bring
movie.
Die Hard up. I freaking knew it.
Die Hard and Gremlins are both Christmas movies.
Yes.
If you had, if they played Christmas music at the very, very end, the little crappy radio sitting there when he's sitting from the ruins at the very end of Aliens, The Thing, then it would qualify as a Christmas movie. But
Lord Maximus knows what's up. Christmas happens in the winter.
Apparently we have
Except for
triggered.
Technically, only 3 days into winter, so you can't claim all of winter for Christmas. No.
We have apparently triggered Wiki. Thank you all for triggering Wiki.
It is. It is Wiki. It is a
Yes,
Christmas
Wiki,
movie.
thank you.
It's about
Thank you,
family.
Wiki.
It is. Yes, it
Oh my
is.
gosh, yes.
Oh man, I didn't know we were gonna get into existential crises tonight.
Crises.
Yeah, he was there for
What about-
Christmas.
Actually, Die Hard 2 is also a Christmas movie.
he was there. He was there for Christmas at a Christmas party.
Oh my god, I'm adding Home Alone to the Idiot Box Christmas too.
There
Did you
go.
have to though?
I don't have to, but I'm going to.
You can have Christmas in
Yeah,
July.
Christmas happens in July all the time.
It doesn't matter when the movie was released. It matters where the movie is set.
It's themed around, family.
It is.
Calvin, what is
Reconnecting
with
with the
you and
Lost family.
family?
In this
The
essay,
first-
I will explain how the Fast and the Furious franchise.
The
It's
first
Christmas franchise.
the first Shazam movie was released in April, but it's set at Christmas time. There's Christmas lights and Christmassy things happening.
Mhm.
Release time irrelevant. Setting important. Christmas is barely a
I
setting.
love that we're not even talking about Starhaven anymore.
Well, there's
We
no
moved
Christmas in
on.
Starhaven, so Wiki should embrace it.
Can there be a life dance?
We had so when we were
Wow.
trying to get Alex to put a hold on the Purge game, I did say, hey, we could just do a Starhaven Christmas, like the Guardians Christmas. And Alex, because we had just gotten to the point where Alara had betrayed Ursa, he's like, yeah, I don't know that we can do that because I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Laura can be the Grinch.
How will Laura stole
Damn.
Love Day? Laura, why?
Just like sitting there in Farside, staring in the direction of Starhaven, like just drumming her fingers while she's in a cringe pose.
I mean, Wiki, technically Star Trek Generations is a Christmas movie because there's a Christmas tree in it.
Watson could
I
have
don't know
been
if
Max.
that's a stretch.
Picard has a whole Christmas fantasy in his little Nexus visit. Yeah, it's a Christmas movie. It's legit.
Watson is
What
the
is the-
dog, is where it's at, though. In the Grinch metaphor, put a little antler on Watson, have him follow Alara around as the Grinch.
You have to find me first, Wiki.
It's gonna be a long drive.
I want to meet Mama and Daddy Flynn.
Wait,
I'm
what
not
am I
e-
doing? I'm in Wiki's game. I shouldn't.
It's like, I'm not even arguing one way or the other, and I'm getting murderized here. I don't know what the heck's happening.
I agreed with her. Apparently, I'm also.
Kissing ass won't save you, Cat.
You know? Might
When the
say.
angel of death comes, she comes for us all.
I will completely roll over
it.
at torture, too. You don't even have to torture me. I'll tell you where
Oh.
Cat lives.
Oh my god! Oh
Wow.
my god!
It's like,
Damn.
wait, what's that noise I hear? Oh, it's the bus backing up over. Cat.
Beep, beep, beep.
It's backing on the way for the trauma train.
I thought we were friends, Alex, but oh. Now I'm second guessing everything. Sorry,
Well-
my screen went black for a second.
You're safe. Wiki's not going to murder you.
Unless, of course, you learn from Alex how to lie and deceive.
I'm
Okay,
safe
but
for
now I'm
now.
supporting the murder of Alex because he was going to support the murder of me.
I was going to support our mutual murder. If it was just you getting murdered, I wouldn't tell anybody.
I don't believe you!
Oh. Oh, it's too
Okay,
bad we
yeah.
already talked about our favorite fight.
Aren't we having it now? Oh.
This one,
Yeah,
this
yes.
moment right now.
This Christmas fight with Wiki, right here.
I got moral support for encouraging violence.
I saw that.
It'll be penalties for fish.
At my age, every day is unsafe, Wiki. I'm not scared.
Oh man.
Kevin's like, I could wake up and die tomorrow. I could wake
So-
up dead.
Alex, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Besides the tower with a horrendous name, what area of Starhaven did you wish that we had gotten to explore?
I thought it was still in Die Hard.
I'm trying to get us back on track.
Going back to the game, Kevin!
Sorry, my bad.
So I really, really wanted to go to the Tower of Nightmares, and we'll find a way to go there eventually.
It's like the idiot box. We're never going to avoid it. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it'll be fine. There's a couple of places that I wish we could have gone. There is a place called Library Prime, which is the heart of a preserver computer network, which it includes a bunch of preserver information, and it has a bunch of historical artifacts, and it includes an offshoot of the preserver AI known as the Curator, but before it went crazy. So this is like Curator Prime. So we're going to go there eventually to make contact with it and to see what the Curator was supposed to be before it went nuts. There's also a place I wanted us to go called the Cryosphere, which is a cryogenics complex that has hundreds of preserver experiments and suspended animation. Just because it makes me excited to think about what I could store in there.
We brush the frost off the glass and we see in Alara and Ursa.
Oh,
Phone number 1011.
And for some reason, Roy Harper.
yeah.
Jason's in there missing an arm.
Yes, it must happen. It's
Jason,
canon
what are you
now.
doing in there, man? Yeah, but there's a lot of locations in Starhaven that I would have liked for us to spend more time in, but we'll spend some more time. What if the Life Day
Okay,
episode
cool.
of Starhaven happens to take place at a party in a tower, and armed thugs show up? One may sound like Alan Rickman.
It's
I have a feeling Wiki is just
A
about to
taco.
turn on the fire hose on all members of the USP crew, because it seems like the majority of them, not all of them, are disagreeing with her opinion. But back to the game and the talk back for the game.
Yes.
I asked a question. Alex answered the question. I'm trying to figure out a way to get us back on track.
Good
and it's not
summary.
working.
Good summary.
Now it's a talk back about the talk back.
Talk back about the talk back.
Hey, my question.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, my brain just blanked.
You put it in chat. Go read it.
Who would be your favorite character if you couldn't choose your own character? Mine is Aylin. Because she's cool. Kevin.
I think Alora, just because she surprised us all. Like, that was very Game of Thrones-ish.
That's fair.
I liked it.
That's a good one. Calvin.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick, like, I don't know. I can't pick a favorite.
Yeah, you can.
You must. Apparently.
Oh, well, by the tone of that,
Imagine you could have been the good twin.
Wow.
But wait, what if Calvin is the good twin? That's our season 2 twist.
It's yet to be seen how big of a heel turn Ursa's going to take.
it would have to be significant at this point.
She eats the cursed maple.
I was my own evil stepmom all along.
Oh no.
Oh gosh, I can't pick just but to pick one. So like just one in terms of like favorite character. Okay, no, I don't know. I can't think. I know it's a cop out answer, but I'm trying to like choose between. I don't know.
Calvin. Say the first name that comes to your head. Go.
Aylin.
Yeah.
But then I think of yeah, that would be the first thing Alara said. Yeah, I guess that would be the first one I go to. It was like, who's the coolest on the team? But then Flynn has all his flashy moves, and Chimera is like this ancient, super cool preserver robot that's mixed with a bunch of people. And Ursa is like a super powerful telepath that like ripped apart a whole street.
All good answer.
Ugh.
We're moving on from you, Calvin.
Please do.
Jonesy.
That was very stressful.
Alex, you're off the hook. I think Kat is running the show.
Toasty.
Toasty. You know what? I'll take that answer.
Good choice.
We could pick an NPC. Oh.
No, only Jonesy.
Only
I
Jonesy.
cheated. I cheated.
Andy.
Ursa.
Liar.
Oh no, I really
Suck up.
no. I really enjoyed the way that she grew throughout the entire game, and you were able to the interactions we had at different moments for like low key moments or hype moments. They were all really good. I really enjoyed it.
I think it was a pretty good team.
Mm-hmm.
That was my question. I'm done controlling.
Wiki has another question for us, Alex.
If you could insert any other character from any of our other shows into the cast for season 2, who would it be and why? That's a great question. I would insert Bowman and make Calvin play both.
I was literally thinking space arrows.
Yeah.
Bowman is the Wolverine of this team. He's just on every team.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
I was also thinking.
The answer is obviously Bowman. And why is it Bowman?
Let's see here.
It has to be a player character?
Yes.
I was gonna pick Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt.
Just to get him away from Centurion.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
Daedalus.
think
Oh, man.
I think I played Thunderbolt for an episode or two, so that would count.
There you go.
He was briefly a player
Well,
character.
there we go.
Yeah, Daedalus. Now that I have a human body again, I would love to go to space with you.
Ooh. You know, this would just be hilarious, but pull Jemmy from Gemstars and her character onto this team.
That's a
Poor
long
girl wouldn't
distance
know what-
call to their mom that is just not going to go well.
Yes, that would just be hilarious.
Dr. Cephalopod.
Professor Cephalopod.
Professor Cephalopod.
Yeah, Mary would explode in frustration. Yes.
Just the idea.
Anxiety.
Just the anxiety, the idea of the professor hanging out with the Hexams.
It's everyone coming up. Oh, look, it's another Hexam. I am not a Hexam.
Got two more legs than you. Here, come catch my 2 extra hands. Professor Cephalopod would be useful during the Sea Haven stuff, though.
Well, and just the whole like the more wacky, the Guardians are a little bit more on the weird alien, over the top characters. So it just seems like that would be a natural fit.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea. I love it. Did Kevin answer? I don't think Kevin's answered yet.
I don't know. I mean, we like Guardians is not superheroes necessarily. I mean, we bump into Daedalus and stuff, but yeah, I probably one of the Gemstars would probably be a better. I mean, they're not technically superheroes either. Of course, again, if we're going for a juxtaposition, I think Resonant, just so Andy would have to be in charge twice.
I was going to say it'd be funny to see Resonant try to be a mom to Flynn while Flynn was being mom to everybody else.
Yes. Yes. All the moms.
Alex, I know you said Bowman, but
Hmm.
I felt like that was in jest.
Yeah, it was a joke answer. Although Bowman in space cracks me up
Yes.
because I don't think bows work in space. I don't.
They work too well is the problem.
Yeah, they go on forever.
Um. Hmm. That is a hard question. There's so many characters that I love in our universe that I think would be funny in this kind of scenario. I'm trying to think of who would offer the most dramatic weight or the most like interesting personality clash, and I think that's Centuria. Like I think Centuria showing up here and having to be the superhero cop for them. Like Daedalus assigned Centuria to babysit them to make sure that they're doing the right things.
That would go over so poorly with Flynn.
Mhm.
So poorly. I mean, yeah, Flynn flirted with her a little bit because, well, he was leaving, and therefore it was safe to flirt with her.
Right.
But yeah, if he actually had to deal with Centuria and Davy constantly, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I think Centuria and New Body Davy would be. I'd love to see them in the mix here.
I don't think Centuria could do it.
Daedalus, I
Centuria would
want
be
to
like,
know.
this is worse than the time that I was by myself for 10 years.
Wow.
She's not telling us that she did meet up with our characters at some point in the other universe, and she's the reason she was by herself for 10 years.
She had a choice. It was either us or no one.
Centuria killed us in the Netherworld universe. I'll do it again. Can I roll expertise Netherwar instead of initiative, Alex?
So we should probably do Deuce's question, then come back to Wiki. So Deuce asks, what was everyone's favorite heroic moment for their character? Opposite of his original question of villainous / anti-heroic.
That was probably Ursa carrying the ship all the way, and then becoming very exhausted and like collapsing to the ground afterwards, after saving her team.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
I'd say probably one of the early episodes. I think it might have been the first episode when Ursa was eaten or swallowed by the acid worm and then taken for a deep dive in the dirt. And I did some power stunning, took it down there and drag her out.
That was a good one. I appreciate that.
That one was good.
That was okay.
And you wonder why I'm slow to answer. Okay.
I don't remember Flynn doing anything heroic.
And you had a couple of like chandelier style moments, which were flashy but not necessarily heroic.
Yeah,
I'm coming up with I'm coming up with a blank myself. So
Flynn's just not a heroic type of guy. Drive casual is not a heroic move. But
Laura, when were you a hero?
Wow.
before the stream started,
I think the Dark Presence is in the GM right now.
I don't know. Saving Eric was pretty somewhat
That was a baller move.
heroic.
That was pretty heroic.
Brain blasting Conan is pretty fun as well.
True.
That was one thing I didn't see coming was Alara choosing Eric over Ogris in the Ferryman's choice.
All that character development down the drain when she handed Ursa for the Moonstone again.
Yeah. If she didn't lose it twice, probably would have been fine.
Oh, Elliot would be a great fit with this girl.
That would be fun.
Alexandrite, the demon gemstar. of being invisible and making little Alexandroids. The next question is, what NPC do you hope doesn't return in Season 2? My answer to that question is Daedalus.
What?
Same.
I think Daedalus has played his part in the story, and he does not have a reason to come back to it.
Oh.
I imagine that he will send some messages to Starhaven on behalf of the Earth governments to try to do his best to keep the Earthlings to stick around for free. But if the humans pull out, Daedalus will probably hand over his equipment to Solo and tell him to take care of things the way he would be taking care of things.
Can't tell me that Daedalus didn't put money away for the future, knowing he was immortal. That he couldn't bankroll some of this to keep the Earth government happy.
I think he might be willing to leave some robots there that he owns to just eliminate the human element of it, because he sees what Aegis is like and what Unison is like and what they really want. And I think it's in his best interest to keep the Aegis government out of it as well.
Mm.
But I think he has done what he can to get Starhaven up and running and making it a self-sustaining sort of institution. And with you guys there, he believes that it's safe in your hands.
Gotcha.
He is a fool.
He is a fool, but
And that's why he keeps getting kidnapped.
Yeah, mine's Bran Cardone.
you don't want to
see
see
his
Bran
lizard
again?
face. No. If I see his lizard face one more time, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh, wow.
Hurtful.
Zoth, maybe? I don't know.
Hopefully we don't see Zoth again.
Did. D-E-D did.
DED dead.
I don't know. I can't think of an enemy that I would want to go like another round with, or NPC in general.
I mean, I was agreeing with Daedalus, and I think taking that element out, not only from like the kidnapping perspective, because we played that horse till it died. But I think like yes.
Yeah, I've got to let Daedalus be competent for a little bit, and he can't do that while there's PCs around.
Yeah, it's very hard to do that when PCs are around. But I feel like that also takes away, that makes it a little bit more Wild Westish, because you take out the main power figure. You have all the little factions that are probably still, even though we set up a power system that we think should work.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
This whole House of Cards is going to get blown over again.
Mm-hmm.
Flynn just expects it to be a little less dysfunctional, a little less abusive.
Gruck will be back, though.
Oh yeah,
That makes sense.
Gruck will be back in season 2. Oh, sorry.
Gruck will return.
I want to see his campaign.
Oh,
I
that's
really
right.
was
Gruck
afraid
is
he was gonna
running,
become
running for
an
office.
enemy. I thought he was going to become a supervillain there for a second.
He
when
still
Ogris was
might.
dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say he still might.
A vote for Gruck is a vote for unbroken kneecaps.
He wouldn't be the first supervillain to run for office.
A vote for Gruck is a vote for no toilet water bombs.
I forgot he was going to blow up Icarus. That should have happened. That's going to happen to the real Valerius Corneo.
Oh no. Ooh.
Fun
All right.
question. Secret Santa on the Marion. What does Chimera get Flynn? Who gets Ursa? Who gets Aelin? Who gets Alara? Who gets Chimera? So, Kevin, you're getting a gift for Flynn.
That is not part of my programming.
Mistress Aelin says, "Go get a gift for Flynn." Chimera's choice.
Yes. I don't know if his
Here are
hat
some
looks.
prostitutes. I believe you like these. Sorry.
I got them in the doggy bag.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be a systematic appraisal of what. See, that's the problem because, how would you efficiently choose recreational partners for Flynn, who has such varied tastes? Maybe like a season parking pass for the Marion.
I love that. That's so Chimera.
That's also
It-
so
it is
Secret
efficient.
Santa.
It is
It's
efficient.
also a very Secret Santa like.
Yep. And then Flynn is getting a gift for
Ursa.
Ursa.
It's in order that you guys are on
Yep.
screen.
Yep. Notice that.
What would I get Ursa? Not a moonstone.
Well, I didn't want one anyway.
Hence why you're not getting it.
Unfortunately, I can't get a better sister for her.
Damn.
If you can get Astaria back.
No.
Not so much. Flynn wouldn't actually get Ursa a gift. Flynn would take her out partying all night. And they would go do the rounds of the trashiest bars in Starhaven. And possibly off of Starhaven.
Since Ursa never got to do that, I think that Ursa would enjoy that.
We're going to Debs.
It's Ursa gets Aelin. Okay. I was thinking that Ursa would get Aelin, like something like a little necklace, with 3 hearts on it, all side by side, and the 3 hearts are color coded to the tails.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and they all have like little engravings on them with their names. I think it'd be cute.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so Aelin gets Alara or Albion, depending if we're doing wikis or not. But for Deuce's set, Aelin would get Alara.
A heart.
No, I mean I can't get her a heart.
That's for the live day episode.
It shrank 3 sizes that day.
Yeah. No, I think Alara, Aelin would get Alara like an iPod and the ability for her to move the songs from the rectangle to the iPod.
A better rectangle.
Yeah, to a better rectangle.
It's a digital rectangle.
Digital rectangle.
Amazing.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's I was like,
what to give the robot that has everything? I'm trying to think of something like that she could get for Chimera, but I mean, despite having preserver knowledge, I don't know if that she knows that Chimera wants anything. She might try to, as a gift of sorts.
Oh, good. It's spreading.
If she sees a nice pair of space pants. No.
Space pants.
Yeah, the expanding kind. So
Yeah,
they fit
cute,
even when you.
oh,
That's an SNL skit.
No, it would probably be trying to help sort out the different entities that exist within Chimera, because she can kind of specifically help with that with her preserver knowledge and her powers.
Okay, so here I thought you were gonna get Chimera moon shoes.
Mistress Alara, I do not think these pants would be function as parachutes as they are said to.
Oh my god.
Space chaps. Everybody wants space chaps.
At once, space chaps.
Albion is getting Ursa a new toaster.
Oh,
Because Albion noticed how much you liked the last one.
Makes me sad.
yeah, we don't have a toaster anymore.
Yeah, like that was our toaster. That was literally our toaster.
It did so
What were
many
you-
things other than toast bread, too.
What were you making with it? Most?
Most. And I was muttering it.
Muttered most.
God, that was hilarious.
You're welcome, Wiki. He may have toasted our bread, but he warmed our hearts.
Mop tarts.
Mop
Wouldn't it be
Marts.
mop marts?
Yeah.
Mop tarts feels like it's made out of noodles.
Yeah, that's what's
Ew.
inside them. It's a delicacy on the moon.
Mm.
Ew.
Just this noodly Pop Tart with like strawberry jam in the middle of a pile of spaghetti.
Uh,
That's so gross.
It's an acquired taste.
Sounds like something Buddy the Elf would eat.
Yeah.
ugh.
Maple Mop Marts. Or Maple Mop Marts.
Apple.
Maple.
Oh. Do we have any other questions?
What do you hope happens next in season 2? What are some things that you guys want to see happen in season 2? I'll start with
Definitely.
Kat.
Okay, go ahead.
I definitely want to see the rift between Alara and Ursa at least sort of mend, and
Or explode.
preferably not that. And I'd also like to figure out what Eric should be doing, because Eric is just sort of there now. And I feel like he should probably have some sort of a role assigned to him, whether it be on Starhaven or somewhere else. He probably should do something. I'll pass it to Andy.
So definitely off Starhaven. I think getting some actual space time with our space pirate crew could be good. A heist could be fun.
I was gonna say, I want to
Even
see
if-
you guys rob somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the heist could be, quote, for a good reason, which also means that we take the stuff that we want.
It's a good reason to us.
It's a good
Yeah.
reason to us. Well, I mean, we could be going for a specific thing that's a good reason, and then just take everything else that we want to. So yeah, I think those are two things that I would like to see in season 2. Kevin?
I mean, I don't want to say what I want to see until I discuss it with Alex. I don't like that's.
Mm.
I'm old school. Like I get it
Secret.
now. Nowadays, y'all want to analyze a movie a year before it comes out, so like there's no point in seeing it in the theater. I'm from the good old days.
Oh
You
my
got this little
God.
teaser trailer in the theater, and you didn't know nothing till you sat down with your popcorn to watch that movie. So that's what I'm going to bring in. I'm going to bring you surprises.
Back in my
I'm gonna tell
day.
Alex,
Right, get off my lawn.
get off my lawn. Over to you, Jonesy.
Yeah, I'd like to see more space pirate shenanigans in space. with other pirates. I'd like to just see more of the cosmic setting. There's a cosmic handbook, and then there's also the Starhaven book. We got a whole bunch of Starhaven and not a whole lot of cosmic handbook, which is fine, but I would like to see more of the setting.
Make you guys some kind of Guardians of the Galaxy or something.
We'll see.
That's right, Kevin Pokewiki.
I'm already at the top of the danger list. I don't care.
Shoot. I mean, what I would want to see. I mean, I feel like Alara. What I want. What I want is to maybe work on some relationships, like with her sister and the crew, and with Auguras, and try to fix things there and get to a point where she's happy where she is. But I also want to see her ascend the moon throne and just, oh man, part of me really wants her to become a villain, but I do think it might be a better story to see where she would go if she's trying to like make the best of her life in Starhaven. But also, yeah, seated on the Mathrone.
My Mathrona.
Wow.
You know, I said Mathrone in my head, but I kept it to myself.
And that's why you're a better person than I am.
I don't know what you're talking
I don't
about.
know.
Wiki.
I kind of want to see Alara go through a villain phase because I'm full on. This entire time I've had a quote, but there's a specific scene in the X-Men comic books where they're all together, and at one point they're like, "Everyone, raise your hand. At some point during your career, you can be described as mostly a villain." And most of them raise their hands, and then one of them looks over and calls out Scott Summers, going, "Scott, why are you not raising your hand?" So I think we all need to have our villain moment because, well, you know, but
We're
yeah.
rascals.
Yeah.
Wiki asks, other than Mapples, what is your favorite ridiculous addition to the USP lore from this show?
I love that every moon thing starts with M.
I don't know if this relates to Mapples, but Watson giving an apple to Ursa every time he asked her about the multiverse is one of my favorite things I've ever come up with, ever. Oh, here, hold this apple. I loved it so much, I did it in a game at UConn, and I was the only person who got the reference, but it was good for me.
Oh man.
Didn't Ursa do it to somebody in the last game?
Yeah, you did it to, she tried to do it to the Freedom Week, or Mentak.
Oh yeah! Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get an apple.
I think Hatrack being the brother of the human that's in Chimera's head is
Oh, that
pretty
was
good.
mine. Just like a moon twin to steal it.
What? What does that even mean? We didn't steal anything.
Makes it a theft.
I don't know, you did steal your sister's moonstone.
Yeah. We didn't forget that.
It was given to me,
And your other sister's
and I
boyfriend.
physically couldn't give it back.
And your other sister's boyfriend.
She stole him from me. You guys are just wrong. Keep the wrong things coming. Fact check.
Wow.
Stamp.
I am
Gotta
drawing
be
a
faster, old man.
I'm drawing a blank as to. I mean, we've already talked about the two most ridiculous things that I think.
Andy's like, I didn't like any of it.
No, I'm trying to think of specific ridiculous things that we added to the lore, and I'm drawing a blank. You got anything, Calvin?
Oh, the moon thing starting with M was
Was
my
yours?
thing. Yeah.
Moonabama was pretty great. I like the shapes. The shapes were fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my flubbing of trying to say something, and then how it's just kind of snowballed into a whole emote. I'm glad it did though.
Hard drive heads. Aaron's response to me killing Solo was pretty good.
That's true. That was, out of game.
Yeah, Toasty was great. I really like Toasty.
Yeah, so did we.
Until we didn't. Trapping the bad guy in the adventure game.
Mm-hmm. Legend says Zoth is still stuck in adventure.
The bats got him. Let me down.
I'm just glad Wiki didn't recognize that I threw a Die Hard quote out.
She threw salt at you, so I'm fairly certain she noticed.
Nice. Well, does anybody have any final questions or thoughts before we depart for the evening?
The final countdown.
You didn't even use that for an episode title.
Not yet. We gotta save some for next one.
Yep.
How much are you going to miss Starhaven during the break? Who's gonna replace Kevin on the cast in season 2?
Paul.
That's too many questions. Yeah, Paul.
No, then we stuck with Daedalus again. God damn it!
You know, I would sacrifice if it was Paul's Daedalus.
Paul's Daedalus is much nicer than Alex's Daedalus.
And doesn't get kidnapped as much.
That's true. Although you did rescue him from a kidnapping when he was here.
That's true.
I said as much.
I mean, we'll miss Starhaven, but at the same time, we're going to be doing other shows, so we'll be busy. So it's not like we'll be, staring at our framed picture of Starhaven, just feeling all weepy on a Monday night.
You won't be?
I will be.
We'll be busy here doing other stuff. Well, it'll have to be at the back of our minds. It'll be a deep set trauma instead of a four-lobe trauma.
Mm. Yeah, I don't take the frontal lobe.
This is the way that
easy.
Alex gives us multiple depth traumas so that we're constantly immersed in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely miss the role playing with Calvin. It's been like some of my favorite role playing I've ever done in a game has been this game, and I'll definitely miss that.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss the twins dynamic for sure.
Yeah. Centurion and Bowman just aren't the same.
They could be. Their dynamic can change in between seasons.
I know.
Yeah.
Watch Centurion and Bowman just be BFFs now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna have to get over that dynamic when we go back to Freedom League Dark.
Work on your Centurion Bowman accent, Kat.
I'm Centurion.
Centurion's gonna do the voice.
What voice?
Yeah, no, Bowman's still mad about that kill steal on the ninja, so.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Well, Centurion's still mad that Bowman went off and tried to kill those speedsters by himself. And got wrecked. By the way.
It's one of my all-time Game Master moments.
I gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, really.
Imagine if Centurion Thunderbolt threw down with a large spaceship.
I would have been dead.
Bowman was doing the Lord's work that day. No more speedsters.
Getting skewered, sure.
I mean, if we're talking about the same lord, getting skewered is kind of his thing.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm gonna miss Starhaven. I enjoyed stretching a bit to play Aelin and try to keep the plural pronouns in play. didn't always manage, but I tried my best. But it'll be nice to step away from that and try to retrain my brain to not worry about that for game nights.
I mean, I miss all my characters. That's, I don't know. There's only so many you can play at one time. Take that, Deuce.
Spike strip arrow.
Ah.
Oh, this is the Wellspring of Velocity anti-arrow. It severs your connection when it hits you with it.
I could make
Yeah.
one.
Then do it.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with us for our Guardians of Haven Talkback, for getting into bringing all your wonderful questions and getting us through guided just conversation about what just happened over the last 24 weeks or so. I'm really excited to where this game has left off, and I'm very interested to see where we pick up with these characters when we come back to them. Thank you, players, again, for indulging my lighter tone for a couple of weeks so we can get back to the really dark stuff in Netherwar next time.
Oh no.
No, but I appreciate you all being so flexible and being willing to roll with the punches when my brain was like, you know what if it was dark instead? We will have a light game eventually.
Sorry.
Will we?
Boy.
Will we?
I have a pretty good feeling about our Christmas special. There's going to be some dark content or whatever, but it's going to be delivered in a light box, and it's going to be great. As for announcements around the network, next week we will be beginning our Christmas special, which is going to be a Titan City Chronicles Christmas. Tuesday isn't light enough. It's just pastel wiki. But yeah, we are going to be doing a Titan City Christmas special, which is going to be one of Santa's elves has come to Carb Tartarus and has requested some Titan City heroes to come and investigate the disappearance of Santa Claus. And I have a bunch of colorful suspects wrapped up, ready to share with all of you. It's going to be a pretty Agatha Christie Christmas, and I'm really excited about it. It's one of my favorite genres. That'll happen for the next 5 weeks or so, and then starting in the new year, we will be jumping into Freedom League Dark, or Nether War Season 2, whatever we wind up calling it. We got to figure that out. We'll be doing a Session 0 for that on Wednesday, which will not be broadcast. We'll be taking that night off for
Top secret.
Thanksgiving. It'll be very top secret. Maybe if we get enough views on the first episode, we'll share Session 0. Because we have some returning Titan City characters from previous streams, and we have some brand new Titan City characters that I'm very excited to share with the world. We do have some great art coming in from Savannah for these characters and for the suspects, so it's gonna be a good time. Tomorrow night, the Gemstars will be back for Gemstar stuff. Nothing on Wednesday, nothing on Thursday for Thanksgiving. Friday, our new episodes from YouTube will be available on the website, and then next Monday we'll be back here for our Christmas special. I want to give everybody a chance to say any parting thoughts, plug anything they want to plug, and then we'll get out of here for the evening, starting with Kevin.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by for the Chatback Season 1 wrap-up. I will be back Monday of next week, revising my first Untold Stories Project character and my second streaming character. Well, I guess that's not true, because I guess we did Heroes Inc. and then we did Strahd. Okay, so my third online character, my first Untold Stories Project character for a little 1920s Christmas action. Can't wait to see how that's going to play out. Over to Jonesy.
Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. It was a lot of fun chatting about the characters and stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Titan City. Should be fun. Other than that, only other thing I want to call out was the Mutants and Masterminds Kick Reprint Extravaganza Kickstarter is in the last 24 hours. So it's a chance to get power profiles, which our illustrious GM does not own a physical copy of, and the Gadget Guy, which our GM does not own a copy of. So,
which the new line developer of Mutants and Masterminds does not own a copy.
yeah. So
whack.
Yeah, if you're interested in checking that out, by all means go over check it out. There's also some cool fiction and stuff too, so which might have a similar tone to Nether War. So with that, I'll get it down to Kat.
Guys, I hope you had a good time watching. If you're not watching us live, definitely, and you have a question, drop it below in the comments or in our Discord, and we'll definitely try to answer that for you. I am looking forward to our new Christmas special on Monday. I'm playing a character that I'm very excited about that I think is going to get on everyone else's nerves. And then I'm excited to start playing Centuria again. So yeah, I'll pass it to Andy.
Yep. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. If you're watching this on the VOD or on YouTube, give us all that social love and share us with a friend if you enjoy what we're doing. Next Monday to reprise my first USP character and I suppose technically my second streaming character, because I'm not counting Phoenix, because that was a hey please guest star type of character. And then as we get past Thanksgiving, all of our Wednesday one shots become Christmas specials. So that will be fun for people to come and enjoy a bunch of Christmas specials in different worlds. I mean, Alex is doing a Mutants and Masterminds. I'm doing Power Rangers. Wiki's doing Crash Pandas. Brandon is doing Muppets. And that'll take us to Christmas. And then after Christmas, we get to see Kevin running some people through Star Trek, which I don't think is Christmas themed because you're after Christmas.
Right. And it's not based on generation, so it's not a Christmas movie.
There you go. With that, I will pass it over to Calvin.
Okay. So yeah, I don't really have much else to add to that. Definitely check out the Kickstarter. Definitely check out all the awesome stuff that's gonna be happening on the channel here, all the one shots and everything, or the limited series, as they are known to be called. And of course, if you want to see more of my stuff, I'm over on the Win With Ice channel on YouTube. We got gaming streams, we got podcasts. Mass Effect is back, and I'm very excited for that. And I'll pass it up to Alex.
I'm excited for that too. Although I do want Calvin to play more Dead Space because that was amazing.
It's too scary.
And please, if you are of the sending good vibes type, please send me good vibes to finish up into the Christmas box in one session instead of making it a mini-series. I believe in myself, but I should not. But we'll see how it goes.
This box brought to you by Hallmark.
Yes, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have claymation heroes. We're gonna have all sorts of fun stuff. 1.5 shot. It's tradition.